Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. My name is Troy, and every Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, I share 5 dividend stocks that you need to know about before the upcoming week. If you're a dividend investor looking for your next dividend stock, then you're in the right place, as in today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 dividend stocks that get better and better as we go.
I am so excited!
Now, on my channel, I always talk about the importance of having filters as they help you narrow down stocks, and these videos really put that into practice.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
For example, the research for today's video started with 200 stocks that had ex-dividend dates between June 3rd and June 7th, which is obviously far too many to look through. So just by applying 2 simple filters, a dividend streak of 5 or more years, and a favorable performance versus the S&P 500 over the past handful of years, I was able to go from those 200 stocks down to 78 stocks, and then from those 78 stocks down to just 24 stocks, or just 12% of the original list. Once I got down to those final 24 stocks, that's when I dove into each and every one of them to determine which 5 you needed to know about for this upcoming week. Now, by no means am I telling you to spend your hard-earned cash on these stocks just because I'm talking about them, but instead I hope that this video and this series can serve as a springboard into research to see if any of these stocks can perhaps be the missing piece to your portfolio.
There's the missing piece!
And if you're in the market for a place you can get quality dividend stock information week after week, then please consider subscribing to the channel, and while you're down there, click on that little like button as it helps me continue to grow my channel. Now, before we learn which 5 stocks you need to know about before this upcoming week, I want you guys to keep something in mind. I want to know down in the comments if you guys happen to own any of the 5 stocks mentioned in today's video and how they're doing for you, and if you don't own any of them, I want to know which ones piqued your interest the most. Let me know in the comments. But now, let's learn some things about this first stock. Coming in at number 5 is Boise Cascade, stock ticker BCC. BCC is a quarterly payer in the materials sector, paying 80 cents per share per year with a forward dividend yield of just 0.57%. Now, BCC has been paying and growing this dividend over the past 7 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 23.32%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 18.58%, and a payout ratio of just 6.1%. At the time of recording, Boise Cascade was trading 8.77% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of June 3rd with a payout date of June 17th. And this chart right here is going to show you the growth of $10,000 both with and without dividends reinvested compared to the S&P 500. Up here at the top, you can see that BCC over the past 10 years would have turned $10,000 into $76,907.25. The S&P would have turned that $10,000 into $33,113.86. That's a difference of $43,793.39. Down here at the bottom, we have the same criteria. The only difference is this time you're not reinvesting those dividends. So BCC would have brought back $62,747.90. The S&P would have turned into $30,426.54. And that's a difference of $32,321.36. And the crazy thing here is that despite the dividend being very small in nature for this one, the difference between reinvesting those dividends and not reinvesting the dividends into BCC over the past 10 years was $14,159.35. All right, and coming in at number 4 is Insperity, stock ticker NSP. NSP is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $2.40 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 2.4%. NSP has been paying and growing this dividend over the past 14 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 12.54%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 20.44%, and a payout ratio of 44.53%. Now, at the time of recording, Insperity was actually trading 22.29% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of June 7th with a payout date of June 21st. And looking here again at the same chart, we have that $10,000 investment 10 years ago while reinvesting your dividends. NSP would have brought back $80,361.76, outperforming the S&P 500 by $47,247.90. Down here at the bottom, NSP would have turned into $71,504.43, outperforming the S&P 500 by $41,077.89, and the difference between reinvesting and not reinvesting those dividends was $8,857.33. Bringing home the bronze medal this week is one I talked about before on the channel. Coming in at number 3 is UFP Industries, stock ticker UFPI. UFPI is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $1.32 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 1.1%. UFPI has been paying and growing this dividend over the past 12 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 31%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 26.8%, and a payout ratio of 14.68%. At the time of recording, UFP Industries was trading 6.61% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of June 3rd with a payout date of June 17th. And a $10,000 investment while reinvesting the dividends into UFPI would have turned into $79,841.32, outperforming the S&P by $46,727.46. A $10,000 investment without reinvesting those dividends would have turned into $74,740.21, outperforming the S&P 500 by $44,313.67, and the difference between reinvesting and not reinvesting those dividends was $5,101.11. And if I can stop the video here real quick. If you guys are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, let me know that by leaving a like on this video, as it helps me get my content out to others that also might enjoy it. And if you have anything to add to this video or even content you want to see, let me know that down in the comments. But now let's find out the top 2 stocks that you must know about coming into next week. Coming in at number 2, earning the silver medal, is a stock I own in my Anyone Can Invest portfolio, which is Old Dominion Freight Line, stock ticker ODFL. ODFL is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $1.04 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of just 0.6%. ODFL has been paying and growing this dividend for the past 8 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 38.32%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 35.73%, and a payout ratio of just 14.44%. And Old Dominion Freight Line might be at a great buying opportunity right now, as at the time of recording, they were down 24.03% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of June 5th with a payout date of June 19th. And up here at the top, we have those dividends reinvested. $10,000 into ODFL would have turned into $84,568.08, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $51,454.22. Down here at the bottom, without reinvesting those dividends, ODFL would have brought back $83,548.99, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $53,122.45. And the difference between reinvesting and not reinvesting those dividends was $1,019.09. Now, I know what you guys might be thinking. Troy, the returns on that last one were crazy, and you think you have one better than that? I do. Coming in at number 1 on this week's list is Lind, stock ticker LIN. LIN is a quarterly payer in the materials sector, paying $5.56 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 1.28%. Lind has been paying and growing this dividend over the last 31 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 9.72%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 9.26%, and a payout ratio of 32.6%. At the time of recording, Lind was trading 8.82% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of June 4th with a payout date of June 18th. And drum roll for this one, a $10,000 investment into Lind 10 years ago while only reinvesting those dividends would have turned into $193,022.56, which outperforms the S&P 500 by a modest $159,908.70. The 10K invested into Lind without reinvesting your dividends would have still turned into $186,380.18, still outperforming by $155,953.64, and the difference between reinvesting and not reinvesting those dividends was $6,642.38. And as I told you guys, the list kept getting better and better. Don't forget, if you guys own any of these stocks, let me know which ones and how they're doing for you down in the comments. And if you don't own any of them, did any of these stocks pique your interest? Also, tell me down in the comments. I really look forward to you guys coming back each and every week, every Friday, for a new list of dividend stocks that you need to know about, so make sure you're subscribed. And lastly, if you happen to miss last week's list full of stocks just as good as these, make sure you check that out right here. But until next time, see ya.